can't play for video storage. You
Wake
can
up.
okay.
Today's going to be a good day.
Push A.
Push
Push
A.
the plus sign, A. And then select video from storage. Good morning, everybody.
Oh.
I'm in.
Yes.
Yeah. And then big screen it. And then
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause of sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
good morning.
Hello.
I can't hear any audio. Deacon, is your mic work?
Hello.
I have no sound. You have sound? Good morning, everybody. Nope, it's me. It's got to be me. So my mic
Hello?
works, but my headphones don't.
Hello.
And I don't know what to do about that.
Earlier.
I think you got to hold it down, and I got to I don't know, rejoin or something. I don't know what to do. What if I do? Yeah, Deacons is coming through. I'll
Hello?
be right back, guys.
Okay. Hi. My name is Deek. I like long walks on the beach. I'm a Gemini. Hello. I can't entertain as good as JJ can, and that's what I've been doing for 30 years in my job, is entertaining by myself. So, hello, everyone. Glad that you're here. Hopefully, we'll get the bugs worked out. JJ and I were just talking to each other. That's why we're a little late. We realized that we were running late. So there you go. Maybe we can get JJ back in here. We've got some crazy stuff to talk about, and one that I was just a little taken aback by, this little test that we did yesterday. But whatever. I mean, okay, it's what it is. So I don't know. Let's see if we can get JJ back in here. And
okay. I can hear now. I don't understand. I was trying to be Deacon. I went back and listened to our entire episode yesterday because I was so self-conscious about the fact that we were responding to Do Good and might have been disrespectful, even though we're not trying to be. We're trying to be authentic, honest, answer his query, and also be willing to stand up and make comments and push back against narrative and the story of the whatever the news is, and especially against this presidency, which is like not good. So I was so self-conscious. I listened to it yesterday and I'm hearing this sound constantly. So I'm trying to use wireless headphones instead. And now I get nothing.
You're hearing what sound?
There's some sort of like scruffy scratch sound. Like I don't know what it is. It's something to do with the headphones connected to the microphone I was using. So okay. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. Trying to be slick. Guess who's not slick? Never been slick in my life. I'm as smooth as a. I don't even have anything. Anyway, good morning.
Smooth as molasses, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, molasses with like pebbles thrown in, a little bit of raw sand. You know, exfoliate it. Good morning, Jeremy. Good morning, Deacon. It is Friday. 9/16, September 16th, 2022. And we're going to talk about the news and some other stuff. So I have to, I can still change the title in retrospect. But
all right. I don't care.
All right. So, before we get into that stuff though, let's talk about, I mean, you know, the worst part is I love hearing that song. I couldn't hear the song. I love hearing that song every morning. It's the start of my day. Anyway,
sing it to you.
Yes,
no.
Yes, I do want to hear it. All right. So, Deacon, you found this story yesterday, and it is Where's it? This button?
I don't know.
You know, for the last week, we've been talking about the Queen and the King and the British monarchy, and apparently Australians would rather have the late great Steve Irwin, King of the Crocodiles. They would rather have him on their money and not King Charles. That's amazing.
Breaks this morning.
What?
I'm missing all my radio breaks this morning. I've been on the air for 45 minutes and I hadn't said a damn word yet.
Oh.
I keep looking over and I said freaking got 2 seconds. Sorry, I'm not having a good day. It started at like 1:30 a.m. this morning. So it's just one of them damn days.
Deacon's had a rough night.
I didn't read all this story, but I saw that, I would much rather have Steve Irwin on there than Charles.
What a charismatic guy he was. Amazing. It's been almost 20 years now that he's been gone.
I used to say,
Deacon,
I used to say he was the one person when he was alive. He was the one person that, hey, that's my brother-in-law.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
Yeah,
good morning.
That's my
brother-in-law.
Good morning, sir. He was the one person alive that I always wanted. If they said, you know, I was been on the radio and they were like, who's the one celebrity you would love to interview? I always said Steve Irwin, man. He looked like the most fun, positive person that you've ever seen in your life. You know? Oh, you just said good morning.
Yeah, Jordan, good morning. Yeah. And you know, he carried himself with such, like, he was just having fun. And he honestly cared about animals and like ecology and, you know, zoology and all of that stuff. But he was an entertainer and he was a daring dude and he just oozed charisma, but he never really there was never anything in the news about Steve Irwin, you know, doing drugs or running around with girls or whatever, you know, like he was
completely
dude.
In love with his wife, just madly head over heels in love with her, in love with his kids. His daughter is had a great show, and his son. Have you seen his son on TV being interviewed and stuff like that?
I have only seen
a mini Steve.
I've only seen a photo,
He's wonderful. No, watch some of his. If you're on YouTube, just I can't remember what's his name.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could probably find it with Steve Irwin's son, and he has a daughter. He has a daughter
Jack?
too. And
is it Jack? No, it's Robert. Yeah, Robert and Bendy. Yeah, Robert he looks like Steve. He acts like Steve. He talks like Steve. He's got the same positive, bubbly personality. Ah, man, he's wonderful. He's wonderful. I love the kid. I love the kid. I love the Irwin family. Are you muted?
So
there you are.
No, I'm not. I'm not muted. You're right. This is unfortunately for this particular moment. It's making me think of this story that I was reading a tweet thread I was reading just a couple days ago. I wanted to pull it up to talk about it since we're talking about this. But there was a tweet thread from a high value thinker that was talking about our natural human bias to make judgments based on physiology of others. Okay. And the central conceit was this. It was even children like 3, 4, 5 years old can make accurate judgments about whether people are good people or bad people based on photographs alone of historical figures. And the tweet threads, it was like maybe this is you can talk yourself into thinking that this is morally wrong or ethically wrong or unfair or whatever, that you can look at someone and say, oh, it's not fair for me to judge if they're a good or bad person. Right. But if you take the greater, like if you just take examples out of history and stack them up and tell kids, hey, who's the good guys, who's the bad guys here?
Yeah, to kids who don't have that already ingrained in
they will
mind.
just look through the picture. And what are kids going to do? They're going to identify humans whose faces are symmetrical or proportioned or whatever, because look at any roster of Andy Knows photos of Antifa rioters, and you're going to find people with like alien heads and weird stuff. And there was a photo of Lenin. There was a photo of a couple of photos of historical figures that were Karl Marx, and you hear Karl Marx talked about a lot, especially with like socialist dogma and in critical race theory and stuff like that. So they throw the name Marx around, they throw the name Lenin around, but when you see a photo of them, you're like, oh my God, what an ugly person. How did they ever acquire political power? And anyway, so through these photos, kids were able to identify good person, Karl Marx, bad person, good person in history, the good people and the bad people, the right and the wrong, just on photos, which, if you think like, oh, you shouldn't be judged on your looks, and, you can have a philosophical argument about, well, that isn't right, except it seems to be pretty accurate. Now, keeping that kind of story in mind, and then you look back at Steve Irwin and you're like, I only have great impressions, great memories of Steve Irwin. Handsome guy, positive, charming, smiling, family man.
He was always smiling, and you don't have to smile with your mouth all the time. You can smile with your
you can smile with your eyes,
and you can smile, and I was always told a long time ago in radio, like my first year starting, this is a fundamental radio rule. Okay. Smile when you talk, because people can tell that you're smiling. If I'm not smiling and I'm reading the news like this, you can tell that I'm not smiling. But if I put a smile on my face and I start reading the news like this, it kind of sounds like I'm smiling a little bit. And you do change your inflection a little bit and whatnot. But yeah, Steve was always smiling, and he was always happy in his facial features. And you can tell people that are like that. You ever just walk to the store and you just, me and Ashley love to people watch. And some people are just naturally like this. I catch myself walking around like this all the time. With my I've got weird eyebrows anyway. I always tell Ashley I got weird eyebrows. My eyebrows go they kind of go up, down, up. They're weird. But and you furl your brow all the time and walk around with a mean face. People do that all the time. There's a guy that come in here in the radio station. I don't think he's ever smiled in his 50 years. Every time he walks in, he looks like he just smelled a fart. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
it's very easy to.
Part of that is,
like
you
said,
you
it's
get
not an
older.
exact science.
As you get older, your eyes don't focus as well. So you walk around. You when you're young, you walk around like just walking around, and you get older, and then you deny that you need glasses or eye correction or whatever. So you're like, I can see fine, but you're walking around like constantly squinting
I've
or
got
grimacing.
these are my first bifocals, so it took me a while.
Seriously.
Yeah, it took me a while to get used to
Oh
getting
my goodness.
the bifocal down. My eyes are screwed too. Look how thick. You probably can't see it, but I got a freaking thick piece of glass right there.
Yeah. One of the probably best things I ever did was we got about 10 years ago, my wife and I both got LASIK or whatever. I guess that's what it's called, LASIK, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Get my eyes. I had from my childhood, from when I was in like 3rd grade, I was like so severely nearsighted that I was like legally blind. Couldn't see anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I had to wear like glasses, and they were real thick. And when I was in the Army, they issued us these BCGs, which are the
big thick ones.
They're that you'll never get a date glasses is what those are. So, and I held on to them forever. And anyway, so about 10 maybe 10 years ago, I don't know. My wife and I are like, look, we both want to do this, and like it's going to cost some money, but it's going to be like the best investment because like we will no longer be buying contacts and having like dried up contact lenses in your eyes and just everything. And it was really the best thing because the first day that you can wake up out of bed and blink your eyes and see your alarm clock.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Walk outside and look at a tree and see the leaves. It's unreal.
That sentence I'm supposed to wear one contact and these glasses, but I don't wear the contact.
Oh, wow.
My eyes are so messed up. Yeah. My daughter, my 10-year-old daughter, my youngest, Maggie, she's been wearing glasses for a couple of years now, I guess. And that's the exact thing that she said to me. And when she said that, it kind of like broke my heart as a parent. I'm like, it still kind of stings when I think about it. But she said, we started noticing that she was squinting, looking at stuff and whatnot. And when she finally got her glasses, she said, Daddy, I didn't realize the leaves look like that on the trees. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she said, I didn't realize that they were so, and the word she was looking for was detailed. And she didn't realize that they were so detailed, the leaves. She just saw, and because she had always seen them blurry. And it just kind of, as a parent, that just kind of breaks my heart right now thinking about it. But yeah, it's kind of crazy that she was like, I didn't know that's what the leaves really look like. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Wow. You don't even know what you don't know. And you don't know what your kids don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things that your kids don't know, but then there's some things that you kind of just take for granted of like, oh, this is just common observation. Everybody in the world can see trees and see leaves and see the detail.
Too. Everybody, and we take for granted that I'm sitting right here looking at this screen and the background is blue. Well, is that the same thing that you are seeing? Is that the same thing that you are seeing? Because I'm calling it blue and you're looking at it and you're saying, okay, well, that's blue, but it might not be the exact same thing in your perception than my perception.
It almost certainly isn't.
Right. Yeah. I had a friend that was colorblind in high school, and we used to kind of poke fun at him all the time because he said, oh, I can't see what y'all say. Red looks like the brown is what we deciphered. Red was really brown to him. We used to pick at him, how do you know when to stop at the stoplight? Blah, 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 So the perception's crazy.
So,
all right, let's move on.
Yeah. Right. Anyway,
what we're talking about.
Yeah. I'm all for how, what? We should have Steve Irwin on the United States dollar. Why not? Let's do it. Nothing matters anymore.
If Australia wants him on there and doesn't want the damn king on there, put Steve Irwin on the dollar.
I mean, who wants to walk around with King Charles in their pocket? Yeah.
We'll put it. You can put Prince Andrew on your dollar. Would you walk around with him in your pocket?
Hello. Just don't give any of your money to your kids.
Hello. Let's move on.
Hey, I got some good news for you. It's gonna make your day, sir. It's gonna make your day. Blake Lively is expecting a 4th baby with Ryan Reynolds.
I would have a baby with Ryan Reynolds.
Blake Lively, the Gossip Girl alumni, 35 years old. You would have a baby with Ryan Reynolds?
I love Ryan Reynolds.
I
I
would
liked Ryan Reynolds
consider it.
before he was Deadpool or any of that mess. I mean, back when it was like the unknown waiting guy. That guy that played in Waiting, yeah, he's hilarious.
We've gushed about Ryan Reynolds, I believe, in the
Van
past.
Wilder.
The
Yeah.
voices. Yeah.
I love Ryan Reynolds.
It took me 20 minutes to be corrected, even though I was being told the movie I was talking about was The Voices, and I couldn't remember it. Jeremy says gay. Hey, that's okay. What's a little happiness between friends? He looks like a happy dude. And let me tell you something else, Deacon. I don't know if you know this. Ryan Reynolds is not only a super charming movie star and a father of 4. He also owns like a phone company.
Yeah.
And it's the cheapest phone company ever. It's so great.
And they're like the greatest couple too. They pick at each other and they rag each other, and it's so funny.
Yes.
And
they just give each other hell in the media, on TV. Like in interviews on Jimmy Kimmel or whatever.
Their little birthday thing that he would do, like on her birthday, he would like tweet a picture of himself and like cut her halfway out of the picture or something. And it was so hilarious.
It's a funny dude.
So funny the things that they do with each other.
So congratulations. We need more Ryan Reynoldses.
We need more couples like this. Yeah.
Yes.
They could be completely
How long
crazy.
have they been married? This thing probably
know,
says they've been married for a while, but wow. If I could spit out a litter of kids, I would. She told somebody in 2014. Wow, that's a lot.
If I had all the money, if I had as much money and peace of mind, economic peace of mind that they had, I would be spitting out kids too, man. I mean, I love
very
kids.
savvy dude.
I was put on this earth to be a dad. I'm not supposed to be a captain of industry or change the world or do anything like these other people do. I'm supposed to be a father, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, and a father to my kids, and I've helped father other kids and helped raise other kids. So that's my purpose in life. I've realized that many years ago that my purpose in life is to be a father. And so I'm going to be a father. I'm not going to try to change the world. I'm gonna change the world with my kids.
That's amazing. I mean, it's amazing that you know that, and then you're comfortable in your kind of like
I struggled
identity in that way.
I struggled for a long time, man. I mean, if we're gonna get into real dad talk here, I struggled for a long time after my kids were born on what the hell I'm supposed to be. What am I supposed to be doing with my life? You know, because I was playing radio. I've been playing radio for 30 years and it's fun. I have fun at my job, but it's my job, you know, and it provides I've been doing it for 30 years. So I'm pretty much a professional at this point, but I struggled with, should I be doing something more important? Should I be doing this? Should I go back to school? Should I try to do this or whatnot to better myself? And, you know, the whole time my kids are growing up and sometimes I couldn't afford certain things. And sometimes we have to go with this. I wondered if I had to, you know, so I finally accepted the self that I'm supposed to be. And my kids are happy. Do they have a brand new freaking BMW to drive to school? No, they don't. Do they need a brand new BMW? No, absolutely not. But they have everything that they need, and they're not hungry.
Isn't that the trap that most men in America fall into? That, you know, in order to acquire whatever esteem you need, you know, to be the warrior in the tribe, right? To be the man that is held in high regard amongst your peers, that you need to do something that is outstanding. And in this modern era, you can't go run out and hunt a pig and provide food for the clan.
Right.
No.
Right.
So
you have to do something else.
So we have to do all these outrageous things
a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys peacock with trucks and guns and boats and side by sides and everything. And I look at that stuff, and I've said that a million times. I'm like, I don't have a multitude of guns, and I don't have 2 or 3 boats, and I don't have a side by side and bows and arrows and all this crap that these other guys boats and all this stuff that these other guys have, you know, but I also don't have $75,000 in debt that all these other guys have because they have all this stuff, you know. I don't. It
is a great thing in life to be able to be okay with where you're at and not need more, because the more you need to feel like you're okay or successful or whatever, that that means the more that external forces have power over controlling how you feel about being satisfied in your life. Like, you can't, okay, I don't believe people can be good. I don't believe that people are good. All right. I believe all people are flawed. That's just part of like Christianity, right? Like all people are flawed, but
Right.
you can be good. You can be good to your neighbor. You can actively be good to other people. So, pursue God and do what you can to help the people around you in your life. But I don't know where I was going with this. But don't allow yourself to be controlled by external things.
Yeah.
To control, like, if you feel okay with yourself, if you are
And I think we
unsatisfied,
do
because
that.
that drives so much of the negative things that men do in
Mhm.
society, is because fundamentally at the lowest level that they don't even cognate about, they just kind of move and act on. They want attention, they want power, they want money, they want something, because there's a giant hole in the center of their being that says that whatever it is, I'm not good enough yet. I need to be better. And anyway, so it's such a massive thing to be like, I'm a dad, I'm okay. Like all the rest of this can like go, and I may not have the best car, I may not have all of this stuff, I may not have great clothes or whatever, but I
Thanks
got
for
kids
stopping
and I
by.
got a happy life.
Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, he's got to go to work.
Yeah,
No,
thank you for showing up, dude.
I completely agree with you. It's
power to be able to be okay at rest where you're at in life.
Yeah, it is, because every guy struggles with that. I see, you see stuff and you start thinking and you start questioning yourself and you question everything that you've done and how
Right.
you're doing things. And I've brought up many times, am I bringing my kids up right? Am I teaching them the right thing? Probably not all the time, but I'm hoping that my mistakes, that I and my children can learn from them and grow. Because my dad, God bless him, he's just not an open-minded person. He's one of those people that are very much stuck in their ways. So when I was a
Yeah.
child, and he was over here, with his things that he liked to do, and I was over here with my things that I like to do. And and I tried to hunt and fish and do all this stuff that he liked to do, and it just I never liked it as much as my brother did. He
Right.
and my dad are the same. Me and my dad look the same. That's where the similarities me and my dad stop, is that we look identical. Other than that, my brother and my dad are the same. And so I struggled for a long time with my dad on trying to find a common ground, something that we both like. And I wanted that. I wanted it to be fishing or hunting or something like that. And I just couldn't get into it. I just couldn't get into
And
killing
he
things.
probably couldn't
He couldn't
meet
get
you
into
where you were at.
right. He
Right.
couldn't get into talking about, video games or, space or any of the stuff that I was interested in back in the day. He
Right.
just kinda. So as a father now, I've searched for that my entire life. And so as a father now, I try to keep an open mind on certain things that I might not be that interested in with the kids, but they are. Like, I think my son Deacon for a long time was, I think Deke for a long time was scared to tell me that he liked this particular type of music, because I'm a music person and my whole life revolves around music, and my job and everything revolves around music and liking specific types of music and stuff. And I think he was scared for a long time to tell me. And I finally got it out of him, because he likes this video gamey EDM type,
Right.
and it's not my cup of tea, but he loves it. And so I tried to actively, take a step in that direction. I don't know anything about this. I really don't like it, but you do. So I'm going to try to like it. I'm going to actively try to like it, and not just do what my dad did and be like, "Oh, bub, whatever," and just kind of blow it off. That scarred me. you know, as a child. At 45
Wow.
years old, and I'm still talking about the fact that me and my dad had nothing in common, and it bothered me. So I'm really trying to do that as a father myself.
So I'm hesitant to talk about my own dad very much because we had quite a bit of conflict when I was young. My brother here says that he doesn't think that either of us are like our father, and I don't agree. I think that we're very similar. Now, in some of the most principal like character parts, the things you say you believe or the things you advocate for or whatever, maybe
Yeah.
not, but I'm honestly very similar to my father in that I will dig into a project myself. I don't need external
No.
motivation. If I'm interested in something, I'm just going to go all in on it. And do I need anybody around me to say, oh yeah, do this or do that, or do I need to build a team to work on a thing? No.
You
No,
can
in
get it
fact,
done.
most of the time I won't. Most of the time I'm just I'm just going to work on this. And if I find other people that are like interested in collaborating in this or in the podcast, I'm like, yeah, let's do it together. And if not, okay, fine, I'll just do it myself. And that means it's not always great because I'm not I'm not great at anything.
At
I'm just kind of
everything.
okay I'm okay at a lot of things.
You're a
I'm
jack
just
of all
okay.
trades.
Yeah. Yeah. That saying goes,
You're kind of
jack
a
of all trades and a
master of
master of
none.
none.
It's kind of what I am.
It
Yeah.
is sometimes better than a master of one. That's so I have
You're right.
a
You're
I have a
right. That's
wide
the end of
stack
that.
of low level competencies, not great. And I'm willing to work on a new thing until I'm like, okay at it. So,
I got to run
and
real
my
quick.
dad similarly is project focused on like whatever he's kind of working on at a time. Like that's what he'll be interested in. Anyway, so my dad and I have similar personality traits, even though we don't really believe the same things. Anyway, and I don't want to disparage or talk badly in any way about my dad. We struggled for a long time to have any kind of relationship whatsoever, and it is what it is. And I understand that other people can't change. You can't change other people, and sometimes you have to acknowledge that like people that you care about in your life, they can't change. They can't be different than they are. So you just have to you accept them or reject them where they're at. And if that means like you're never going to be satisfied, well, that means you're never going to be satisfied, right? So I came to the position many, many years ago with regard to my own dad is like he just can't integrate into his personality the things that I have complained about, the things that I have issue with him about regarding like our childhood, my brother and I, or when he was a dad, and like he just can't take ownership of like or maybe he can, and it doesn't sink in very deep. So
Who's
the
that
problems
now?
that you have with other people, you're never gonna have like real resolution in some cases. So you have to be like, well, like it is that the prerequisite for having a relationship? That I have to be satisfied on all the things that I'm complaining about, and it's not. It is. You can either accept people where they're at or not, and that's just where it is. so my dad is a flawed human, just like me.
We all are.
just like
We all
just
are.
like everybody else that I've ever met in life. So,
Right. There was one.
and that also means at a certain level, I don't really view my father as a figure to aspire towards.
Right.
And
Okay.
as a consequence, I really don't have figures to aspire towards in life. And I don't
You know,
really, I kind
because
of actually reject the idea that other people can be role models that you can aspire to be, because I fundamentally believe like it doesn't matter how good they look. Even Ryan
I don't
Reynolds.
think you should aspire to be someone. I think you should aspire to act like some of their ideals or something like that. Because I don't think
Yeah.
you should aspire to ever be
Well,
your parent. I mean,
well,
as much as a positive, as much as a more of a positive relationship that I have with my father than you have with your father, I
yeah.
still would never aspire to be him. Are there a couple of
Or to be like, or
things
to
about
emulate.
him that I want to be like? Yeah, there's one fundamental thing about my dad that I have picked up that I have picked up on about myself. And
Mhm.
it is, I picked up on it looking at it at as a negative standpoint, but I had to change my outlook real quick because it's not a negative standpoint. It is a very positive thing. And my father is one of those people that if you, JJ, were to call him right now and go, sir, I know your son. I am broke down on the side of the road out here and I need some help. And he'd be like, where are you? You know,
Yeah.
give me a minute. I got to put my pants on, but I'll be there. You know, Dad is one of those people. He will always help whoever and help you. And I've caught myself, you know, and I looked at it in a negative standpoint. I saw it in a negative standpoint because the kids would need something or somebody would need something and they would call and they'd be like, Andy, can you do this? Or Andy, can you get this? And blah, blah, blah. And I would always be like, yeah, I'll be there. Yeah. Give me about 15 minutes. You know, every time I catch myself going, damn it. Yeah. Give me about 15 minutes and I'll be there.
So a little bit like you're willing to help, but it's a little bit like
I want to help and I'm absolutely will help you,
right.
but I hate, you know, I had shit that I was fixing to do, man. And I've had it in my head the whole day about some shit that I was fixing to do. And I've been excited about it. But now you need help that I gotta. But I'm one of those people.
But you know it's the right thing to do to help people that need help.
I'm
you want to help people, but you also want to do whatever you want to do. I mean,
I want to do my stuff. I want to do my stuff.
Yes.
But my mom, this is where my mom comes in. My mom was one of the, if not the most selfless person on the face of the planet. She would have given you her hair if you would have needed her hair, you know? So I try to aspire towards that too. You know, you've got to be selfless.
Okay. So I guess this is what I mean in that, and like, I obviously don't try to be another person. Right. I just, be better than your parents and teach your kids to be better than you. That's good stuff. That is absolutely right. And
I've said that to Alex many times. Alex, you're going to be a better man than me.
I think my kids are smarter than me. My kids are really smart.
Deacon is already taking. Deacon is a freshman in high school, and his math this year that he's taking. I told him, I said, "Well, that's higher than I went in high school. you are taking more advanced math now as a freshman than I took as a senior. So don't ask me questions." All
right. So it's 7:10. We gotta click some stories. So you gotta get through some stories. So we had all this. We'll talk, and we will inevitably talk more about this kind of stuff.
Conversations. Yeah.
I just want to. I've already decided I'm not covering this very much. I'm just going to mention there was a threat of an of a railroad strike, and the implications of this would have been devastating to our economy. Because if goods cannot travel across the country, they sure as hell can't get to Walmart for you to buy. Right. So this was supposed to be up to $2 billion a day. Amtrak had canceled all of their long distance trains. The railroad workers were striking. And Joe Biden, hero that he is, has reached a tentative deal to avoid a national railroad strike by completely caving and giving them everything they want. So the Railroad Workers Union has bent the administration over, and they have taken a big old pay raise. And I guess good for them because the rest of us get to keep buying stuff at Walmart. So that's good.
Yay.
And I didn't even bring up a news story, but I had 3 citations for it. But I'm just like, we'll just move on past that.
Okay. Let's talk about what the title of the show is.
Yeah. That's what I want to get to. So yesterday. How did we I don't know how we ended up getting around to this, but I'm going to pull, you're going to have to share your own score, but I'm going to pull up the context first and Nope. Where it is. I'm going to go down here. So there's this couple of different scores, a couple of different tests called the like political compass. That's one of them. I think that's the one I had you take. Where's my link? There we go. And what it does is it asks you like a series of questions for you guys listening that haven't necessarily done this. It asks you like 15 questions about what you think about economy or government or policy or whatnot. And then based on those questions, normally me actually get this image up, this page up. Normally, politics are kind of in American politics, not international. So if you're listening international, this doesn't really relate to you because your own political environment will be drastically different than the United States. So here, but in the U.S., in the United States, can I make this bigger? Here we go. We have kind of this divide between the left and the right, and also divides between liberalism and like authoritarian power, and between conservative values and progressive values, and libertarianism versus state authority. So we have this complicated matrix, this is a three-dimensional image of 6 different opposing forces, and then we reduce all this down in politics when talking about American politics to left and right, which is not at all capable of holding your of plotting your kind of values and attitude here. But generally, left and right is a shorthand for a much more complicated structure, right? So I had Deacon and myself take a political test, and now I haven't seen Deacon's results yet. And Deacon, I don't think you've seen mine. So here are my results from the political compass test, which are so this spectrum breaks down the three. It kind of combines left.
Wow.
Yeah. Hold on. It combines the left represents progressive economic and social policies. So if you're way for like high taxation and super gay stuff, it's right over here.
No, that's not what it's all about.
Yeah, no. Economic
these fucking questions. Like, I mean, then this thing is skewed then. Okay.
Economic left and right, right? This is high taxation, social benefits provided by the government, and right is going to be like
positively to any of those types of questions.
I don't know what your results are. I haven't seen. But I'm
the opposite of you. I mean, I am the exact, almost in the exact fucking spot down on the other side.
Oh yeah. Okay. Hold on. So this.
That's why
these results are consistent. I answered these questions 2 years ago and forgot the answers and just answered them again yesterday. And I'm basically in the same spot. I may have moved over like 1 point to the right, but this is my quadrant, which is I am highly so this vertical axis is authoritarian, that is state authority, and down here it's like F the state. I am libertarian, individual rights. Another way this is viewed is communitarian. That is, it is a higher value that everybody's good is more important. And down here, a libertarian value is like every individual has their own rights, and that is what I respect the most. So I am highly libertarian. Well, I'm not highly anything. I'm a very centrist person. I'm very middle of the road. I am right-leaning on economic values because I just don't trust the government, and I don't trust that they can do a good job to do anything.
See, I answered all those same questions too. Yeah. I don't trust the government to do all that.
Let's see what your scores are, sir. What are your scores?
But let me tell you something else. Let me find where I actually saved this. Here, this. Can you see that?
Yeah, and I'm gonna see if we can we equalize this stuff maybe? Yeah, here we go. Look at that. There's yours. So zoom in on your picture a little bit. There you go. So wow, you're fairly progressive in your
but see, I don't know, because when I got to this page, okay, this thing seemed to me like one of those fucking IQ score tests that you do on the internet, okay? Where you can really, like, you take an IQ score test on the internet, that's not your IQ.
No way.
No matter what. If you pay
No way.
$50
These are all
to
fake.
take an IQ score on the internet because you think it's a good one because you're paying money,
Yeah.
that's not your IQ. We can tell you just because you paid money. But first, so I'm looking at it like this, because when I got to the end and it showed me this at the bottom of the page, the
Yeah.
whole top of the page and all the fucking ads that were on the page
Okay.
was
All right.
telling me what libertarian meant in 2 paragraphs. And then the next 2 paragraphs told me what authoritarian meant. And then
Yeah.
it described left and right. And then it showed me the fucking picture at the bottom. So it's like it shows you the exact same page, except you have your picture at the bottom and mine has my picture at the bottom. It really don't explain anything to you. It just asks you a bunch of random questions and then
Well,
it puts
I
your
think
dot in
it.
a box.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it tells you what each quadrant kind of meant, like
Yeah, but
right
I
authoritarian, left
don't
authoritarian.
put very much stock into this, JJ. I'm sorry. And
You don't think so?
And I could take it again tomorrow or whatever, you know. We could do it again.
Let me see if I can
oh,
paste
that's
in.
my
Let me
bad.
see if I can get the descriptions up. So I think it's move. I'll shrink my screen down here. Okay.
Yes.
So I think it's visually informative. So like you and I, we okay, let's just assume you answered all the questions correctly.
Let me give you the
And
one test.
and let's assume for a moment that this score is accurate.
Okay.
Then it's super enlightening for us to see, like, you and I share libertarian values. We share individual values, individual rights and respects of individuals as being of greater value ultimately than the common good of the state, or whatever the state is good for the state.
Right.
So we share libertarian values, but on the specific questions of economic policy about where you'd be willing for government money to go, or I don't know exactly what questions you answered differently than me, but you're according to the answers of this thing, you're leftward of where I am in terms of policy. So we're not two of the same guys. We're we may hold very different values, and then we intersect in certain quadrants.
I'm just saying that I'm not going to put a lot of stock into an internet test to tell me what Smurf I am. You know,
libertarian left.
And I knew that I was a little libertarian because I've changed that way. I mean, I've always been a libertarian.
Right.
But I'm like you when you were showing that 3-dimensional box there a second ago. I used to just say, "Oh, I'm conservative," or I'm right. You know, because that's how I felt. I didn't want any of that bullshit. But after you get into the 3D box, you realize, oh, that's not what I am. I'm this over here. And then I have said many times in the past, I'm like, oh, I have a lot of left-leaning, ideals on certain things, know, that I don't feel very strongly about, that some conservatives and Republicans and whatnot get, slobbering mad about. I just really don't care. Whatever you do in your fucking house with whoever you do it in, that's cool, man. I don't care. Just don't do it in the front yard.
That's your libertarian stuff.
I don't care if
keep it out of my face.
Boy, girl, man, giraffe,
right?
Whatever.
I can personally think that your choices are reprehensible, and you can do whatever you want. Just keep it out of my. Don't make my kids say it.
Yeah,
don't fly giant fucking banners on Amazon Fire Cube of your parade banners. And
don't
make
walk.
My kids
if
see
you want to have a fucking parade celebrating your lifestyle, whatever the fuck your lifestyle is, don't walk around with a giant cock and a giant vagina costume, please.
Right.
That's a little fucking vulgar. And there's kids out here. Have some fucking decency. I don't care what you do. Have some decency, okay? Some decency for society. Our society would be a lot more accepting of people if you would be decent. I don't care what you freaking do. I don't care.
Yeah, really. So, I mean, I
don't want to see it thrown in my fucking face all the time and being told I'm a freaking homophobe or something. I have my own personal beliefs. Do I believe what's going to happen in an afterlife is probably different than what you believe is going to happen in an afterlife? Probably. But do we both know? No, we both don't have a fucking clue.
No. Okay, man. Woo.
Take my blood pressure medicine.
Anyway, I hopefully that's a little bit informative for for our audience, and
Well, that's
and
interesting.
I encourage you guys to go apply your own, take the compass test. Don't take it as like it's absolutely true, but take it and see what your results are, and just kind of like, oh, that's interesting or not. And that's not the only test. But that one plots economic and social policies on one scale, as opposed to usually it's economic and social policies are plotted against each other, but they generally in U.S. politics, they generally overlap into two clusters. And then it plots the left right against authoritarian versus libertarian. And I just find myself to be, anyway, I just think it's interesting and hopefully informative. Next time we see Ghost Dog, if we ever get Ghost Dog to come back and talk politics, we should get him to take the test too and be like, hey, Ghost Dog, where you at?
Made Ghost Dog mad with something.
We might have.
I hope not.
And
I like Ghost Dog.
I hope not too. And he's a busy dude. He's got a way bigger channel too. So
I hope we don't make other people that maybe knew us from the video game that we played. I hope that we don't piss them off and whatnot. I had a message on my Twitter this morning where somebody was like, "Hey, I just wanted to know why you're mad at us." Oh, good. Well, I had a message on Twitter this morning from somebody that we both know, and they were like, "Hey, why did you unfollow me?" And I haven't responded yet. I haven't responded yet, but I'm going to respond and say, specifically, you tweeted out, Trump MAGA people suck and y'all can all fucking die. And if you don't like this, you can unfollow me. So I unfollowed you because even if I want a Trump MAGA
screenshot,
person, I mean, that's gonna, I don't want Biden supporters to die. If you voted for Biden, I don't want you to die. I think you're a fucking idiot, but I don't want you to die.
So generally, this has been said by other people, but I think it's generally true. The right, that is, the Republicans, MAGA, Trump, but generally anyone anyone right of center generally thinks that the far left are misguided. Like, you guys want good goals, but your policies and your methods and your
it seems like they've got on
willingness
blinders
to engage in violence is so misguided and so wrong.
It seems like they've got on blinders that they can't see what's peripherally happening out here. All you see is what's in front of you.
Right. Yeah. Whereas the left attitude of the right is not that you're misguided. It is the right is evil and they want to kill us and they want to throw bricks at us. So I don't know. That's our current divide. I want to show you something awesome. Maybe it's awesome. Maybe it's not awesome, Deacon. And we got very little time left. So
I want to talk about something before we.
Oh, sure, for sure. What do you want to do?
I don't have a thing brought up for it, but did you see? Okay, since yesterday we talked about Florida governor mailing all the immigrants to Martha's Vineyard.
Yes.
Did you see the backlash yesterday?
Oh my God.
Okay, so
I have a story about Biden flipping out about it.
Well, I'm on the left website Reddit. Reddit is a left website. It is.
Yes.
It is very left. Almost everything that you read on Reddit has a leftist agenda. But there's other things on Reddit that I go to. There are a multitude of Dungeons and Dragons nerds that are on Reddit, and we all share shit together. All right. So there's other things to get on Reddit for. But when you go to the homepage, you're going to see a lot of this stuff. And when I'm bored, that's what I'll do. I don't have Facebook. I'll scroll Reddit. I'll go to the homepage and I'll just scroll up and just read and whatnot.
That's like Twitter, but
kind of. But there's links to news stories, and you have people having conversations. But it's not good conversations. It's like 70% overseas that thinks America is a bunch of fucking idiots, and then the other 28% are left people, and then there's probably 2%. There's probably
so what'd you find on Reddit?
So anyway, yeah. So what they were saying was they were selling it as Governor DeSantis tried to make a political point by spending your taxpayer dollars by doing this. It's your taxpayer money that sent all those people up there for this political stunt, this stupid political stunt. You see this political stunt? And look what all the loving people at Martha's Vineyard did. We come together and we fed and gave these children toys and we played with them and gave them food. Bitch, you did that as a political stunt.
Yeah.
If you really want to show us how fucking awesome you are, let them stay. Yeah. Let them stay. So this is what I think is funny. No, it's not a political stunt. And yes, if this was my state and they were using my taxpayer dollars to do this, I would be all fucking for it, because there's all these goddamn cities all around the world that tried to be woke and tried to be awesome. Do you remember? They were all like, hey, we're sanctuary cities.
Yes.
We'll be a sanctuary city.
We stand for the right for people to migrate. And
this town closest to me, the biggest town closest to me, Paducah, Kentucky, that wants to be California so fucking bad they can taste it. They all were. That was one of the first things they did. We're a sanctuary city. Yeah. Well, bitch, how do you feel now that we're bussing all these fucking immigrants that would never get to your sanctuary city because the border is here and you're way the fuck up here? How are they going to get there? We're letting you. We're letting you do exactly what you said you would do. You said you would be a sanctuary city and provide for these people. So man the fuck up and do it, and shut up and don't ask for a fucking pat on the back. Okay. So we're supposed to give you a pat on the back because you're doing what you fucking said you would do. Shut up.
So Joe Biden rages against Republicans transporting migrants to Democratic elites. He says, Liz, he says it's un-American.
It's un-American. Dumb fuck. Go sniff somebody and shut up.
Republicans are playing politics with, listen here, Jack. Republicans are playing politics with human beings, using them as props. What they're doing is simply wrong. It's un-American.
I've never fucking done that, rushing them into this goddamn country and giving them
these dirty, poor immigrants shouldn't be in Martha's Vineyard. They're supposed to be down under a bridge in Texas.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be up here where we go golfing. They're supposed to be living under a fucking bridge.
Martha's Vineyard is like one of the richest places per capita in the United States. They got... Obama has a 30-acre, multi-million-dollar mansion there. They have the environment there, the city there, that little area, millions of dollars per capita. So they can afford to take some of their precious resources and their sanctuary and provide housing. Because you know what? There's tens of thousands of migrants down here in Texas, hundreds of thousands down here in Texas. And do you think they got a nice cushy airplane ride? And do you think they got a nice shelter and all of that stuff? Dude, they're living under a bridge out of cardboard boxes because there's nowhere to put them. They can't take them into the intake facility because you can't cram humans in there like that. So, yeah. And you know what? Martha's Vineyard, Washington, D.C., Chicago, New York, they're not getting tens of thousands of migrants. Martha's Vineyard got 50 migrants, and they're flipping out and asking for federal help. 50.
Martha's Vineyard is a golfing paradise with 3 public golf courses and 2 private courses on island. Whether you're a novice golfer or just getting into the swing of things or an expert on the greens, the golf courses on Martha's Vineyard work for all types of golfers. So fuck it. Let them set up some golf courses there courses. Take a couple of these public golf courses and set up a tent city and let them live there.
Yeah.
Since the left every fucking time has to say something about the president golfing. I mean, Trump got it and Bush got it, but we never heard a fucking word about Obama taking all his golfing trips. Obama golfed more in his first fucking year than like Bush did in all the years he was in office or some shit like that.
So
Oh yeah,
on
I just thought it was hilarious yesterday
it's
seeing all
so
these
funny.
people. They
These
were
people
like they were pissed at
this
first,
is the
and then they decided we can make a news story out of this if we just show a little fucking human decency like we said we were going to in the first place. And then I
right.
thought, all right, bitches, y'all are milking this up for this 5 seconds of front page time. But what the goldfish Americans are going to forget tomorrow is that in a week, those fucking people are not going to be fed by you, and you're going to be trying to get your homeowners association presidents' asses to get their fucking asses out because
Right.
your property value is going.
Well, we already
down
saw
with
we
all
already
these
saw
dirty
Chicago. We sent buses of migrants to Chicago, and Lori Lightfoot said what Texas is doing is wrong, and we're going to welcome them, and we're going to take care of these people, and they
and
shouldn't
then
be
she
just
shipped them
transporting people
out
like
of
that.
Chicago.
And then she sent them out to the suburbs.
Then she sent them to the fucking
Get out of
suburbs.
Chicago.
Mhm.
Yeah. So here, this is in the Washington Examiner. This is a Rasmussen report released to survey results that shows a sizable majority of voters want the southern border secured and approve of Greg Abbott's move to pay back criticism from sanctuary city mayors by busing illegal immigrants to their own towns.
Well, what do you think about
By a margin of 52% to 39%, likely voters approved of Abbott busing illegal immigrants to New York City, Washington, D.C., and Chicago. The American people, majority of American people that voters are approve of this policy and plan. So, according to
are they not going to
Karine
get?
Jean Major. Go ahead.
I was just going to say,
according to Karine Jean-Pierre a few days ago at a press conference, this is the majority. This is what the majority thinks. And if you're not if you're outside of the majority, if you're in the minority, then that's extremist, according to her definition of extremist a few days ago. That's the press secretary for the White House. So it's so ridiculous.
Did you see where Jen Psaki Stacky Wacky works for NBC now?
Peppermint Psaki. Peppermint Patty Pisaki. Yeah, she works for NBC. She had that gig lined up while she was still in the White House. And
you know what?
Yeah, I saw.
You know what I think
She's
of
useless.
every time I see the speakers. What was Jen Psaki? What do they called?
Press secretary.
Yeah, press secretary. You know what I think every time I see the White House press secretary, don't matter who it is. This is what I see. Hang on, I'm gonna share my screen real quick. This is what I see.
Yeah, sure.
The mouth. You remember the mouth of Sauron? That he comes out.
I've never seen that.
The mouth of Sauron.
What is that?
That's the mouth of Sauron. Have you ever watched The Lord of the Rings? You haven't watched The Lord of the Rings.
I haven't watched it in 20 years.
Oh, that was Return of the King. So when they go out, when Frodo is almost to the mountain, they make one last push to the gates, to the Black Gate, and the army, Sauron's army moves up, and then the mouth of Sauron rides out, and he speaks to Aragorn. And then that's when Aragorn just slices his freaking head off. But he was the mouth. He spoke for Sauron. He was the mouth of Sauron.
I respect Lord of the Ring fandom, and
that's what she is to me. That's what I picture every time.
In Clerks 2, Kevin Smith, pitted the Star Wars trilogy against the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and basically characterized the Lord of the Rings in such a way that I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much it. I believe he called it Walking Left, the movie. And because all three movies, they just walked. They were just walking.
Kevin Smith didn't say that. Jay said that. And not Jay. It was Randall. Randall said that shit, arguing with what's his name. And Randall's a fucking idiot.
Yes.
So don't take anything that Randall says.
Idiots can say things that are true. So,
Randall's a moron. Are you going to see Clerks 3?
There's
no you are. You're a fan. If you watch Clerks 3, you're going to watch Clerks 3.
Clerks, very important movie to in my youth. Clerks 2, honestly, is very important too, because that movie, that's the message of Clerks 2 is just how important it is for brotherhood and friendship, and like how much important and also a huge transition in your life, going from being an individual bachelor to becoming like You're married. This is a big step in your life. And while you're going through that, while you're making those new bonds, there is a different place for your friendship over time for your friends. And you have to balance these aspects. So I think Clerks 2 is a great movie. Do I have high expectations for Clerks 3? No, because I've seen
expectations for anything Kevin Smith does.
No, I have seen him do nothing but pander for the last 2 decades. Pander. So I don't know. But they could sell me if it's funny. There was a movie he put out a year or two ago. It was like it wasn't.
It was
like yes, that was awful.
Good. No, it was good. I liked it.
It wasn't good. It wasn't that good.
It's supposed to be stupid. It's supposed to be stupid.
It's mission accomplished.
He did it. Got it. And at the Val Kilmer at the very end, that was at Val Kilmer at the end and didn't say a word. I was like, why didn't Val Kilmer talk? And then that got me into the whole, I didn't know about that. And then there's
a Val Kilmer documentary.
I've got it saved.
I
haven't got to watch it yet, but I saved it in my watch list after I watched that movie because I was like, I want to know what this is.
Yeah.
I want to know what happened to Val Kilmer. He had some of the best lines that's ever been uttered in Tombstone.
Yes. I think he for a couple of years he could barely talk at all. I don't know if he can speak now or not, but I think he had to have some sort of surgery or something like that. But he definitely has a real issue.
I'm gonna have to go here in a minute.
Yep. Yeah, we got to go, man. Thank you for watching, everybody. This has been. How do I stop sharing my screen? Golly. Haven't we learned something amazing today? We learned that while Deacon and I appear to talk on the air to have very similar attitudes, we may actually have some very different attitudes on some things.
I think we do.
But we know where we are intersecting, which is,
I think we do have some. We look at things differently, but that's why I like
so valuable.
I like having somebody that does look at things differently because me and your brother have a lot in common. I can tell, but me and your brother have a lot that we don't have in common that I can tell.
Yeah, right.
And that's cool. Yes. I like that as long as you're with a bunch of people that realize that and accept that and realize that, oh well, Deek's a dumbass on this things, but that's okay. I still love him. That's cool with me. I'm like that.
So
I don't agree with
Jeremy says I need to rewatch the Lord of the Rings series, one of the greatest series in filmmaking history.
I watch it once a year, and you cannot watch the stupid freaking version in the movie theaters that you watched. You have to watch the
9-hour cut
versions of the movie. They are a masterpiece. And I'm not a Tolkien purist. You're never going to be able to do the movie just like a book. You're never going to be able to do it. There's certain things that movies have to do for it's masterpiece, man. And I really liked I just like that shit. I like fantasy. I like that.
I totally respect the art and the craft that went into adapting that and the fidelity with which Peter Jackson and the team tried to convey the world of Middle Earth. They did a fantastic job. I'm just not all about like swords and armor and stuff.
That is completely fine. That's completely fine.
And this is the worst part. And it has nothing to do with anything. I remember reading in one of the Lord of the Rings books. I don't remember which one. There was a part where the cast enters this forest, and then there's like some dude singing, dancing through the forest and singing songs, Merry Word or something like that. And I just closed the book and I was like, I'm out. I'm not dealing with this.
Man, wow. Okay.
So, I acknowledge the facts. It's filmmaking history.
I got to run.
Art, high art, amazing for sure. I know my limits, dude. All right. Well, he's back on there. He's got to go. And a story about friendship, sacrifice, good versus evil. You're absolutely right, Jeremy. You're absolutely right. You're totally right. But I just can't do it. I can't sit through 9-hour version of a movie. So, guys, thank you for watching the show. Thank you for hitting the like button because I see how exactly how many of you are hitting the like button right now. I think it's like underneath me. It's like straight down here right underneath me right here. Just reach down and hit the like button. It's so great when that figure is more than one. So I'm so happy about that. And somehow our Twitch audience continues to show up. So thank you, Twitch.
Thanks, guys.
Whoever's watching on Twitch, thank you for showing up. And we will be back. Today's Friday. So it's time for us to go to the weekend to do Big Dad stuff.
I may be here Monday. I may not be here Monday because yesterday my father told me that him and my uncle and my brother are going up to see my aunt in Illinois. She lives way up by Iowa. And they were going to drive up there for one day and see her because my aunt is in very poor health. And I don't get to see her but like once every 2 years. So he invited me to go. He was like, "Do you want to go?" And I'll have to take my day off from work. But I told Ashley last night, I was talking to her about it. And I have had several moments in my life where I haven't done something and they've passed away.
Yeah.
And I kick myself because I'm like, damn it, I didn't do that. And they're gone. And so I told her last night, I said, if I don't go see my aunt, she's going to pass.
You will regret it
before I get a chance. I will regret it. So I think I'm going to go up there. We're going to drive all day Sunday and then drive all day back Monday and get back Monday afternoon. So I might not be here Monday because I'm going to go see my aunt. I love her and I miss her.
Well, guys, anticipate I'll be on the air myself talking politics and sharing my opinions and eliciting yours. We'll see what that goes. I can hold this thing down.
Depending on where I am that morning, I may be able to get on the phone.
Yeah, do it on your phone or, not whatever you need to do. Family first. I always say family first. All right. Well, that's all we got today, guys. And we will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, wow. That's something. There's a little nightmare fuel.